What a game this promises to be, the last quarter-final of the Kings World Cup Nations. The Mexicans looking to fire themselves up with a really passionate display and song in the national anthems. Kun Agüero teeing up Argentina in this game. Patrick Kendrick, how do you see this one going?
Well, there's Javier El Pupi Zanetti, the Inter Vice President and Argentina legend as well. He's here to cheer on the Albiceleste. The Twitch viewers see it as Argentina having the edge. My hunch is that they will just get the better of Mexico, Obed Martinez et al. And we are hoping it is as tight and as tense as yesterday's second quarter-final when the US and Morocco went to a shootout.
Yeah, we've seen Turkey, who were billed as one of the best defences so far in the Kings World Cup Nations. It's the same for Argentina as we see the drawing of the Spotify secret cards. Argentina 100% in terms of getting the shootout.
Indeed, 2 games, 2 shootouts for the Argentines, and if they were to get that again, they've got a pretty accomplished number 10 there, Sergio Agüero, El Kun, who is a team owner as well, lest we forget. But there is huge support for both of these sides in the arena, where we've already seen plenty of Brazilian fans turn out to watch their dominant display a little bit earlier before they beat Turkey. But now it is the turn of these 2 Latin nations, Simon. Mexico with Obed Martinez, but Argentina led by the icon that is Sergio Agüero.
Yeah, Argentina, who are going to start with Ezequiel Cohen alongside the goalkeeper, as expected. Obed Martinez will kick-start things for Mexico. So much excitement today to finally see Kun Agüero play for the Albiceleste. It's time for the lights, and off we go. The last quarter-final, lights on, lights off.
And Obed Martinez herring after the ball, which descends from that 5-metre cage once again. Obed Martinez winning the tussle against Cohen. And we've already seen what a technical player he is. Monterde as well is very accomplished. We've seen plenty of Mexico's matches throughout this competition so far. Goalkeeper no stranger to shooting from distance, but Obed Martinez will try his luck.
Yeah, here's Obed Martinez looking for a first shooting chance, and he's denied by a really good save. Luis Sanchez there sticking out a strong right boot.
Well, he opened up the angle there, Obed Martinez. The only surprise is that he didn't actually score. Yes, the goalkeeper made the save. Down at his near post, one you'd expect him to accomplish. Would have liked to have seen Obed Martinez maybe go back across the goalkeeper, but he'll try again.
Yeah, the good thing for Mexico is they get the ball back. Obed Martinez trying to get past Cohen, same way. Little bit of a trip, no. Obed Martinez, and he's denied by the woodwork this time.
Well, this could be a sign of things to come. It is very early to be reading the tea leaves, but these could be negative omens for Mexico. So often they've started their matches in this competition with goals, and this time Obed Martinez denied by the upright, having got the better of the goalkeeper, but not this time. And Argentina will breathe a big sigh of relief. There could have been 2 down already.
We've seen how important it is as well, these opening minutes in the game. Cohen just given a little bit of a talking to by the referee. Obed Martinez actually complaining that there might have been a little bit of a tug, and I think there is a check ongoing here.
Está mirando.
Está mirando.
Hay, pero está bien, Joan.
So está bien, we can play on. So nothing wrong with the challenge, and Argentina finally get the ball in an attacking position.
And we're going to see what they're all about in the attacking third. And they are committing the goalkeeper forward, Luis Sanchez.
Pablo Gomez hanging on the far side. Luis Sanchez, who scored already, but he finds Pablo Gomez. Sanchez, side to side it goes here from the Albiceleste. That's good play. And Monterde read it really nicely. Is that late from Cohen? Entitled to go for the ball, but it's going to be an early moment of drama here as the yellow card is brandished by the referee, and Argentina are a man down.
Well, Cohen slipped, that's why he was late to the ball. I don't think there's a lot wrong with that. He's actually pulling out of the challenge. It's the goalkeeper's momentum which takes his head into the stray leg of Cohen. You could argue the Argentine player should have tried to hurdle the goalkeeper, but it all stemmed from him actually slipping when trying to retrieve that through ball, that lovely bit of skill, the flick. He couldn't get there, and all of a sudden Mexico have the edge.
And Mexico here, who will welcome their third outfield player. And you almost wonder whether they could make a substitution and bring on 4 outfield players with Montero heading off. Montero, as we've seen, is more than capable of striking the ball.
So too is Obed Martinez. That's who Mexico will be looking to get the ball to.
Here's Cisneros.
I saw Cisneros actually score one into the top corner. It was a beauty. So he's capable too.
Obed Martinez, third shooting chance, and finally puts away by the Mexican superstar. Obed Martinez opens the score.
That's why they frequently try and get the ball to the skipper. He's so good in front of goal. It was an anomaly that he was kept out by the goalkeeper in the first instance, that he was denied by the woodwork in the second. Third time lucky, Obed Martinez gives Mexico the opening goal.
Luis Sanchez kept his cool. Can he unleash here? It's gone a long way, the goalkeeper mustn't lose it, that's for certain. He has lost it.
Yeah, good work from Chu Perez there.
Obed Martinez. Mexico slowing it down a tad. Cisneros out wide. Here he is again. Obed Martinez hanging free down that left flank as Argentina still have 40 seconds on that yellow card. And it's a brilliant save by Sanchez, denying Baruch Ochoa.
Offside, I think, in the end, but Baruch Ochoa didn't know that, nor did the goalkeeper when he made himself big. But this is something I've been considering, Simon, in recent days. You do feel, with Mexico, that if you can keep quiet, Obed, then you have a big chance to go on and win the game. It's not like Brazil or indeed Colombia, death by 1,000 cuts. They can hurt you from any area of the pitch. If you keep this man quiet, easier said than done.
Yeah, Baruch Ochoa is a handful, but he's been a little bit off target throughout the tournament.
And I enjoyed that message pre-match as well. You know, it was Obed Martinez saying, we're here for Brian, who can't be here today. That was in reference to Brian Hernandez, who was injured in the lead up to this.
Absolutely gutted. Brian Hernandez put out a message on social media, didn't he, Patrick? Saying he was so upset. Obviously, health and safety of the players comes first in every instance.
Well, no sign of Agüero just yet, but they are clearly holding him back. That's a clever ball if you can latch onto it.
Yeah,
I've seen them work that before. Augusto actually headed one into that top corner.
Obed Martinez takes over for Mexico, as he so often does. That one played back and picked up by Cesar Bernal, who's once again on the ball here. And it's miscontrolled on the sidelines by Jesus Chuy Perez, who's also been very lively for Mexico throughout the tournament.
This is the first milestone of the match. 5 minutes have now gone by, which means it is 7v7, 6 outfield players plus goalkeeper, and no more. That was a late challenge coming in from Gomez on his opposite number, Obed Martinez. No more will we see players coming in this staggered start.
A staggered start, which so far has smiled towards Mexico, but would you say, PK, that they'll perhaps be a little bit disappointed because they had chances, and that's a big mistake, which returns the ball to Argentina, who waste no time in moving it along? Yeah,
they haven't really maximised their opportunities because they had those 3 big chances for Obed Martinez. He only scored 1 of them. Argentina haven't really tested Montero at all, and yet they're only 1-0 down.
Pablo Gomez, played to Augusto. Argentina just looking to get themselves on the ball a little bit more. That's a clever little dink into the area. Held up and behind for a corner.
Personally, Simon, I would have liked to have seen the player attack that with his head. He let it drop for the colleague behind him. Agüero taking a sitting position. See whether he is going to be stepping out to take the presidential penalty or not. But great to see him stripped in his playing kit. We've been teased, and this has been spoken about all week, whether El Kun would play. He will play. He'll also be in action in that Legends game on Sunday.
Sambueza now up against Obed Martinez. Sambueza looking for a little bit of space. Once again, it's a corner for Argentina. Mexico looked really fired up ahead of the game for this one. And that's straight into Monterde's hands.
Yeah, they haven't had many opportunities, Argentina. OK, set pieces don't have the same value as they do maybe in the 11-a-side game, but it's still a corner opportunity, and the pitch is smaller, lest we forget, so you need to maximise those chances. It was wasteful playing it straight into the goalkeeper's arms.
And you have to say as well, just to echo what you're saying, Patrick, that Argentina have got the bigger players, so there is a mismatch in terms of size. Perhaps not there. Sambuesa is dispossessed, but it's a free kick.
And we've seen them as well score with their head, which is not necessarily the most customary fashion when it comes to scoring in Kings League, but plenty of players have produced some headed goals. Who can forget Alvarado of Peru, one of your favourites, but we have seen it. If you can get the service right, it is as valid a method of scoring as any other.
Argentina still looking to get their first goal of the game. The switch was on. Augusto, however, would have had to be about 5 meters tall to keep that in.
They've looked for that several times. Augusto Fernandez, who did score that goal in one of Argentina's earlier games in the tournament from that exact passage of play. It's something they work on clearly, but they need to get the first portion of it right for him to be able to beat the goalkeeper with his head.
Two sets of players who know each other very well. Play for Muchachos FC and for the Cyans FC. Mexicans and Argentinians overlapping in both those club teams. Pablo Gomez. Just feel it's a little bit pedestrian at the moment from Argentina.
Yeah, they've very rarely got in behind Mexico. You want to really try and get down the sides, get those cutbacks. Or you need to try and get on the edge of the box and get half a yard to get a shot away, because if you can do so, there's a real opportunity to beat the goalkeeper. We've already seen that plenty of times in this tournament.
Yeah, Barrocochoa not foul there, according to the referee. Of course, were Argentina to win this, it would be a thrilling setup with Brazil, their arch rivals in terms of football. Obed Martinez, that's lovely feet.
Yeah, it's a proper old-fashioned number 10. I know he wears 20.
Shooting chance here, perhaps, for Argentina. Eventually just cleared out of danger from Cesar Bernal. Argentina just getting a bit of rhythm here, Patrick.
They are, and dare I say it, from the name, he sounds more Brazilian than Argentine. Rafael João, I don't know whether he's naturalised or not, whether he's got one parent from each, but if we were to have a Brazilian game against the Argentines in the semi-final, that might be one to inquire about.
Facu Romero about to come on for Argentina. This is Augusto. Good defending once again from Mexico. And Obed Martinez trying to bring a little bit of clarity to their attacking play. It's broken to Argentina in a good position here. Shot is wide, though.
João dragging it wide. He's had a couple of opportunities there, and that's probably why he's going off. They may have already planned that particular change, but certainly had he taken one, if not both of those chances, I'm sure they would have kept him on the pitch. He trudges off in disappointment.
What we've seen from Argentina throughout the competition is very traditional fighting displays, but they've not scored many goals. That has to be said.
You're spot on. There was that 2-1 win that they had earlier on in the competition. That they were fairly comfortable. They've been good defensively, and we witnessed that again so far. They needed a bit of the rub of the green, if you'll excuse the expression, given they're up against the Mexico side wearing their traditional tricolor, which features green shirts. But here's a chance potentially. Overhit again.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was 4-2 against Spain in the opening match, and then 2-1 against Japan, I think, in match 2. Obviously, they missed last chance. These are the quarterfinals. So Brazil had more goals in their last game than Argentina have had in the whole tournament so far.
Well, especially when you consider that goals are often worth double, either with a secret card, that was a clear foul from the Mexican player holding his Argentine opponent, or in the final 2 minutes of play. So to only score 2 goals in a Kings League match and win it is pretty surprising, very unusual, I would suggest.
Referee just telling the Argentine players, you worry about playing, I'll worry about the rest, as the foul on Martin Mantovani was judged to be a little bit too rugged by his teammates. Augusto asking why that wasn't a yellow card.
There are a couple of separate Mexican streams going on here, and the one with the two girls, the brunette and the blonde, the brunette took her headset off to take a break in streaming so that she could actually shout at the referee or perhaps make some encouraging remarks to her compatriots out there in the green. But clearly, streaming duty secondary in importance to cheering on her nation.
In the meanwhile time, Antonio Monterde with another save. He made one a little bit earlier on, but not really been tested in any significant manner yet, Monterde. Everything he has done, you expect him to keep out. Baruch Ochoa there continues his tussle with Mantovani, who exchanges niceties with Ochoa. But as we've seen from Mexico throughout history, they will defend with everything they've got, PK.
They will indeed, and that's been an underrated side of their game, I think. We've spoken about Obed Martinez, who's in the 1v1 situation there, and he wins the challenge.
Thomas Lawrence absolutely loves Obed Martinez. If Mexico were to win, he'd be over the moon. This is Romero.
Especially because Thomas Lawrence will be back on duty tomorrow with you, Simon, for the two semi-finals. We know 3 of the 4 teams. We're waiting to find out who'll be the final side in the last 4. Might not be Argentina on that evidence.
No, Argentina really, really struggling. But this is something that we probably haven't outlined enough with Argentina reaching the quarterfinals with those 2 wins. But both wins were incredibly narrow, not particularly convincing. And
yeah, in an ideal world, you would be both solid at the back and also free scoring at the other end of the pitch, but very few teams combine that. Maybe only Brazil, but even then they did concede 4 against Turkey. A bit of ill discipline costing them conceding those penalties to Chechim.
This might be a chance, though, for Argentina. They've got numbers, shooting, surely, and put just wide. Well, what a chance.
A huge chance that's gone begging, and Franco Romero knows it too. He had the chance to square it. He decided to go for goal himself. He was off balance when he struck it. Even then, it appeared like it was arrowing towards the top corner, and that could be a huge moment in this match.
Don't you think he delayed it a bit too long? I thought the window opened up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I thought once he was delaying, I was fully expecting him to just roll it square to his teammate, but in the end he went for goal himself, which is also another option. The teammate Tran had opened up space, but you've got to at least work the goalkeeper. He didn't even hit the target.
Here's Sambuesa, one of the more experienced players in the Argentina side. Augusto's made the run, and the header was there, but it's off target.
And that's the other Romero, that's Facu, alias Facundo. It's really fizzed in towards his head. He was brave there. Kun Agüero will, I'm sure, come on at some stage. But, Simon, we witnessed the Uzbekistan goalkeeper, one of your favourites, Yangirov Kitobchi, making saves with his head. So it's clearly a facet of this game, just putting your head in the way of the ball, even when it's absolutely fizzed in.
Facu Romero, that was a useful touch. Sambuesa, good challenge by Cesar Bernal.
He's a big boy, Cesar Bernal, and I remember him scoring a header for Mexico in one of their matches this week, so he's a threat at set pieces. High boot there on Obed Martinez, meantime, who hasn't put a foot wrong. I don't think he ever even makes the wrong decision, let alone doesn't execute to perfection.
I said this to you the other day, I'll say it again though, I really like his boots. I'm partial to that colour as well, but Obed Martinez, he carries his team. I think it's what you were saying earlier, the fact that if he's not on it, Mexico aren't on it. And that can be the danger for Mexico going forwards, if they go forwards.
Yeah, and we're just 2 minutes away now from the Red Bull dice roll to energise us with a break. I've been supping a Red Bull myself, and a challenge is flying in. The dice, Simon, is going to be rolled by the Inter-legend, their all-time leading appearance maker, Javier Zanetti, who is also a restaurateur in Milan. I don't know if you've ever been to any of his restaurants. There's one near my place if you'd like to go for a steak dinner. Well worth a visit.
Oh, I would love to go.
El Gaucho, I went there with Will Fraser, who you know as well.
I do. I would be well up for that. This is a chance. Oh, great defending.
Handball,
and then put
handball,
over.
surely. Well, offside.
Offside. Argentina through Navajas Sanchez, as Facu NVJ on the back of his jersey. Found a little bit of space.
Feliz Navajas. Feliz. He won't be very happy after that miss, but he was offside.
But I like the play on words.
I try.
Here's Monterde once again, as we have 1 minute to go until the Red Bull roll of the dice.
We do indeed, and he's a lovely man, Javier Zanetti. He's a one-club man, essentially, in Italy. Came to Inter very young in 1995. He was one of Massimo Moratti's first signings. Stayed at the club for years. Overtook Pepe Bergami's all-time leading appearance records. It's just not going in, though, for Argentina. They could do with Zanetti out there, dare I say. His nickname was El Tractor, the tractor.
Paco Romero with that strike again. And one of the great things about Javier Zanetti is that he's such a well-respected figure as a human being. Obviously admired massively for his footballing skills, but involved in plenty of charities, both in Italy and in Argentina, in terms of helping children who come from poorer backgrounds. He's really a wonderful human being.
He is, yeah, the Pupi Fundación that he runs with his wife. And now it is time, there he is, in his civvies, in Borghese, Javier Zanetti. Used to see him in a shirt and tie, but he's wearing an Argentina tracksuit, and he rolls a 5, Simon.
It's a 5, which probably in terms of the show is not the most flamboyant. However, in terms of what Argentina won, it's probably not bad, because I don't think they would have enjoyed a 1v1 or a 2v2.
Yeah, because especially with Obed Martinez in particular. Well, on paper, Simon, this is not necessarily the most spectacular outcome you can get when you roll the Red Bull dice, but then again, we've seen quiet periods when it's 1v1 or 2v2. Who knows what's going to come about with 5v5?
That's true. Mexico will be the first of the ball. Remember, it has to go backwards. That was really cleverly done, actually, by Cisneros. Now Obed Martinez, shot blocked. He's not getting a moment's rest, is he, Patrick?
No, and when you've got a player like him who's a talisman, you need to keep him out there as much as you can, fitness levels permitting, but he does seem to be in remarkable shape as well, Obed Martinez. And he's young enough too, 1996, so he won't turn 29 until this year, if I've got my maths right.
You do, because I'm turning 31 and he's 2 years younger than me.
There you go. Just plays more experience than his age.
Cesar Bernal, that's an absolutely wild effort at goal. For all that we've been saying about Argentina not creating, though, Mexico has been defending a lot and they're only a goal up, so by no means have Mexico put in a really resoundingly dominant performance here, and I think Brazil will be watching this and licking their lips.
I think this is symptomatic of what's at stake really here. Yes, Kings League has been devised with the rules to certainly foster attacking football, but we haven't necessarily seen it. We might here, though. We haven't seen it, Simon, because now the stakes are high. There's a semi-final place on the line, and if you have the option of winning the game by playing with a tight performance or being more aggressive and maybe losing, you're going to choose the former option, and I think both teams have been cagey here.
That's true. Here's Gomez. It's spilled by Monterde! One of Mexico's best players since the start of the tournament gets it horribly wrong, and Argentina level.
They needed something like that, Argentina, to give them a bit of momentum. Zanetti salutes it. It was a very undistinguished piece of goalkeeping from Monterde. Credit to Pablo Gomez, though. If you don't shoot, you don't score. That's something Sergio Conceição said recently, the new Milan head coach. And Monterde was outfoxed in the end by the spin as well that he imparted on the ball with that very curious bit of technique. One each.
Yeah, one each, and something that might just galvanise Argentina, bring a bit more life to their performance. Facu Romero's been excellent since coming on for Argentina. He's getting a little bit of a breather as Obed Martinez tried to play that one through. Here's Mantovani, who also very rarely misses any game time. crucial at the back for the Albiceleste. Here's Joao. Joao, tailed by Obed Martinez. Mexico boxed into the corner, but Mexico win the ball.
Absolutely, and there are no seats to be had here at the King's Arena on the south side of Milan, because all of those official seats have been booked out. We've got people standing pitch side. And just to underline, Simon, how tight this game is, 1 each at the break.
Yeah, 1-1 at half-time. Half which has been more tactical than flamboyant, that's for certain. Argentina will be pleased, and you feel that the momentum will perhaps be with Argentina going into the second half. We're going to hear from both corners now.
Estamos bien, muchachos, estamos bien, no le bajemos la intensidad, no le bajemos la intensidad, carajo, dale.
Nos han podido matar, estamos vivos, vamos, vamos, hay que aprovecharlos. Vamos que están cagados, vamos, vamos.
Una, dos vueltas y lo encaramos, muchachos. Una, dos vueltas y se desarman, no siguen paredes, viejo.
Dale, Ey, ellos no quieren más, Ellos
Vamos.
quieren más.
Chamo,
Nosotros no estamos
tranquilo,
cansados,
estamos
Dale.
bien, ¿sí? Salimos con Manto, ¿sí? Augusto, Ezequiel, Facu Navaja, Sambu, ¿sí? Y Kun arriba. ¿Vale? Lo que hablamos, ¿sí? Si Kun se viene para acá, por ejemplo, si Kun se viene para acá, trabaja con Manto ahí. Facu Navaja.
Uno solo, güey. De ley va a haber uno solo, encuéntrenlo.
Sí, por eso. Pero háblale desde antes. Gaby, pícalo ya.
Ritmo alto de juego, pase, confianza. ¿Vale? Cambio de orientaciones. Venga, vamos chicos, va.
This is interesting. Secret card being playing off the restart of the second half here by the Mexican side, and we're going to waste no time in discovering what it is. Star player.
And we know who that green armband is going to be given to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Obed Martinez for the Mexicans. The Spotify secret card gives them the number 20 then, Obed Martinez, who for the moment is going to take a breather, but for those of you who are new, no, in fact, he's going across to get the green card, and it is now the turn for this second half of the iconic Argentina number 10, Sergio El Kun Agüero.
What an amazing player, El Kun Agüero, who, of course, is remembered mostly for his time at Manchester City.
Agüero!
One of the most dramatic finishes you will ever see, if not the most dramatic, to a football season. But it's all to play for in the second half here at the King's League Arena in Wismar, Milan. Ball has to go backwards. Bit of a melee there. One back by Mexico.
I'm very keen to see how much pressing Agüero does. He's always been stocky in terms of his size, and we shouldn't forget what a precocious talent he was, Agüero. He was already playing men's football, burst onto the scene age 15 for Independiente, had an amazing career, and it'll be interesting to see what he's able to produce here, whether he's going to be playing with his back to goal or whether he'll be making those runs in behind.
Well, we saw in the build-up to the show, didn't we, that he was absolutely slotting them whenever he gets the chance. Agüero backing more often than not that he's going to score it, so that'll be something that at the very least will keep the Mexican defence really occupied.
Our colleague Thomas Lawrence, rather churlishly in my opinion, reminded me several times that Agüero has actually missed a penalty in the Kings League. So, you know, Tolo, he loves his stat, he's done his homework, and he thinks that there could be a precedent there, which we might need to elaborate on later on. But first and foremost, who's going to score the next goal, which could be vital in this game?
Cisneros looking... Ooh, that's a big collision, but nicely dealt with by the players. Good show of sportsmanship between Mantovani and Jacob Morales.
And good to see that those LED boards are robust. We actually had one break prior to tonight's action. There was glass, some debris on the side of the pitch, but they got it cleaned up.
Taken shorts and then skied. That was a chance, a very big chance.
Diego Martinez needed to keep his knee over the ball there. It did bounce up. It was an awkward height for him. Tried to take it early, but just couldn't keep it down.
There's a risky slide tackle as well from Mantovani. Has to be careful with that kind of play. Now, the good thing as well about the star player for Mexico is there's no time limit on it. Now, whereas a double goal or a player suspension has that 4-minute set time to it, Obed Martinez will have all of the second half, and if he scores, then it will count double.
Yeah, but it's one and done. If and when you score, you can only do it once. Here come Argentina.
El Kun was waiting in the middle, and already a sign of frustration from Agüero.
Yeah, because you can understand it as well. There was the chance to square it, and instead he didn't. He was a little bit greedy, Augusto Fernandez.
Counter-attacking chance here for Mexico. They choose to just let it go out of play, and it'll be a throw-in now. Lobo wants the ball. Lobo, who is Jacob Morales, easier for me to say. Lobo.
Means Wolf, I think.
I'll trust you on that one. He wanted a foul. He's going to get the foul.
Here he goes.
Lovely vision. Too many green shirts there getting in the way of
because the
Paco
first
Sanchez.
touch from Navas was not the best, really.
Argentina's starting to control this one, Patrick.
They are, and I think it's almost the fear factor that he brings. He's an intimidating figure, Agüero. You know, once he's on the pitch, you need to have eyes in the back of your head to keep tabs on where he is, and that means other players will be free as a result. We've already seen evidence of that.
And it's Juan Cisneros who's the closest player to Kun Agüero, who surprisingly is out wide on the left and perhaps not in the middle.
And what I love about Kings League, Simon, is the interest from all of the other nations and the supporters. It's not just Mexicans and Argentines that are in here. We've got Italian streamers watching, the Brazilians are live streaming. Plus, we've got all of those broadcasts. You know, we have our Italian, our English, our Spanish feeds. Here's Agüero!
Oh, my word! That's why! All you need to do is give him the ball.
That's what they came to see. El Kun with an absolute stunner.
What an honour for you as well, Patrick, to call his first goal in the Kings World Cup Nations. One
Well,
of
it
the
almost
best
came out
players.
of nothing. I think the Mexicans were caught off guard. We were close to missing that ourselves.
Oh.
Fabulous technique.
On his weaker left foot as well.
I think it's harsh, isn't it, to call any foot that Sergio Agüero possesses weak. It is weaker than his right, but it's still an absolute hammer.
Well, there's a VAR check now for a foul in the build-up. Now, Patrick and I, who are both English, tend to disagree with slight contacts being free kicks.
Also, Simon, you know, you need to look at the overall growth of the game.
Joan,
You need, well, it's going to be disallowed, isn't it? He's caught him on the heel. That freeze frame is pretty damning, I think.
Yeah, but in real time, you have to watch in real time. I'm not a fan of VAR, whether it's Kings League or, shall we say, more traditional football, being slow motion, because it takes the context out of the equation.
Pablo Gomez with the challenge.
Visión está clara, said the referee.
Okay, perfecto.
No, it's very soft, Simon.
It's a free kick, so the goal doesn't count. The thing is, Lobo actually has control of the ball, so he could have played on.
Again, I'm looking at the overall growth of Kings League, and this is our Kings World Cup nations. And that's where you just want the referees to have a bit more common sense. I know the stakes are high, but you've got a very clippable moment there, and social media is so important for the visibility of this game. You've basically now had Agüero's first goal at this level for his country, and what a goal, ruled out over a very soft technicality. That's my view. Call me a cynic. You know, the Mexicans will disagree with me, but I'm gutted.
Yeah, the Mexican players, though, I think need to keep carrying on playing here. The Argentinian head coach, actually, after the decision was made, said to the assistant next to him, you could have played on, he could have played on. That I think, is the most contributing factor for me to the decision is he still had possession of the ball and it was very minimal contact. Anyway, put una pietra sopra and move on.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that conversation. Cisneros is down now. He's the player who's taken a tumble. Agüero will have to do it all again, but that's why he's going to be so potent at this level. He was brilliant enough at 11-a-side, but when you can see him anywhere on the pitch. And a reminder of our institutional partners who've got the Piedmont region, the city of Turin, the Metropolitan City Council, IREN, and indeed the Cultural Foundation of Turin. All of those partners giving us a hand in setting up this event, co-hosted between Milan here at Wismar, renamed the Kings League Arena, and Allianz Stadium, home of Juventus, which will be the scene for the final. A big thank you to all of our partners and sponsors.
And it'll be our pleasure and privilege to be at that final. Me and you, Patrick.
Yep. Thomas Lawrence drew the short straw, out of action for the final, but he will do us very well tomorrow for the semis. And the Mexicans are just throwing themselves to the ground now, Simon. He's got straight back up, he wasn't hurt. He yelped out in pain. I don't like to see that.
No, neither do I. I think if you cry out in pain and then get immediately up, I think that should be a simulation. There is going to be a President penalty called by Mexico, and as the ball has gone immediately out of play, it will be taken immediately by the Mexicans.
So, big moment now for Mexico, and Bernal going across to give some encouragement. I think it's been Gabo Montiel, hasn't it, who's been taking these presidential penalties. I recognise him from his headwear. And I do like the bravado that they tend to have here. What he'll do is probably have his back to the goalkeeper initially. He'll pose for the cameraman, then he'll swivel and shoot, Simon. Let's see if he does it again.
He missed his last penalty. It was saved. And this is a big one. He's got his cap on here.
This is all part of his pre-shot routine. Tiger Woods, eat your heart out.
He has time. Usually a little bit unorthodox in the way he does things, and you can certainly see that here. The referee's going to blow his whistle. Montiel taking his time. Decent run up. And he's put it away. That's a brilliant penalty. And he was giving it all the chat ahead of the game to the Argentina president, and he's backed up his own chat with a goal.
Yeah, beautiful. The goalkeeper went the wrong way. No chance for Marcelo Barovero, who's on for this second half in the Argentine goal. And once he saw the goalkeeper move, he slotted it home. Very neatly taken indeed by Montiel, who is, from the looks of things, I think, wearing one of those Juventus third kits, I think, as well. So he's clearly got hold of a special edition. He clearly thinks he's going all the way to Turin.
President penalty called by Argentina. Immediate response by the Albi Celeste, and we saw Montiel there just high-fiving the Brazilian presidents, Gaules and everyone else. I think Gaules clearly would perhaps want to avoid a match, a grudge match with Argentina in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think you could well be right. So we're going to see now Agüero taking the presidential penalty.
He is a president, Agüero, so this is why this is going to be allowed. Now, his previous goal, which was a beauty, was disallowed.
But
are we going to have
James Rodriguez missed yesterday for Colombia, so we'll see.
Monterte or Agüero, it's Agüero, it's perfect.
Absolutely no surprise there. No doubt that Agüero was going to score, having previously seen a goal ruled out for that VAR decision. And it's now 2 apiece.
All square, and a reminder that Mexico played their secret card right at the start of the second half. Star player for Obed Martinez, which means if Obed Martinez scores, the goal will count double. Argentina still have theirs.
Here's Agüero on the turn, trying to bustle his way through in the end.
You can tell that when you have class, it's eternal, isn't it, Patrick?
Yeah, they say form is temporary, class is permanent. You're absolutely right, and he is one of the icons of Argentinian football. We've seen so many of them. Angel Di Maria before the game as well. still going very strong in the Portuguese top flight, one of the best players in that league for Benfica.
Angel Di Maria, who alongside Lionel Messi was instrumental to Argentina winning the last World Cup in Qatar, scored against France in the final, did Di Maria.
And as Agüero said, every time that they've won trophies, Copa America, the World Cup, he's always had a key role in either assisting or scoring goals. He's a bit like Diego Milito, another Argentine, used to be for Inter in their treble-winning season, scoring in all of the key matches.
Had one of the very best left feet that we've seen in the players of his generation. Here's Sambuesa to El Kun Agüero. This time stopped Agüero, but he wins it back. Mexican players not afraid to get physical with Sergio Agüero.
Let me hear your body talk.
It might be talking here. Scuffed it this time.
But you can tell that the Mexicans, they are very worried. They're a little bit panicked every time the ball goes near Agüero because they're well aware of what he can do.
Here he is once again. Mantovani, good play. Facu Romero now. Facu Romero with that left foot of his. Sambuesa. Good idea, perhaps a little bit too ambitious.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know as and when that secret card will be played by the Argentines. They do still have it, which is why there's that green dash graphic at the top of your screen. But a reminder of what we're working towards. The final of the Kings World Cup Nations. You can still buy tickets at kingsleague.pro, Allianz Stadium. That's the date for your diary. Sunday, the 12th of January. We've also got a Legends against Streamers match. The Legends team, or at least one of the teams, will feature Agüero. We've got Casillas, Buffon and Pirlo as well. Plus a performance from Mahmoud, an internationally recognised artist who was very decorated at the Eurovision Song Contest and the San Remo Festival too.
Just to emphasise that final, over 40,000 supporters expected at the Allianz Stadium. Only a few tickets remaining. It should be a great occasion. Argentina seem to be growing in strength in this game. That is surely a foul, and it is.
Yeah, just a foul, just a free kick. No suggestion that would ever warrant a yellow card, despite some of the Argentina bench now waving in the direction of the match official, asking for a caution. They've taken it too quickly, and they're a bit disappointed because they had an overload there.
Let's not forget that this 2-all scoreline is even more impressive, considering Argentina had a man sent to the sin bin at the start of the game as well, defender Cohen. And this might have broken to Baruch Ochoa. Good defending by Mantovani. Expected that from Mantovani to defend in that style.
And you made a good point earlier, Simon, which is that, yes, when we think about South American football, we often immediately think of Brazil and flair and attacking play, but Argentina are known for gritty defensive work as well, and we've seen lots of examples of that. They've been rock solid at the back.
I would say they haven't defended for quite a while, though. It's been all Argentina in terms of the ball. They need to try and unlock this Mexican side, who know all about defending themselves. Monterde this time doesn't spill it.
Yeah, Monterde gifting a goal. It was that first one for Pablo Gomez, which got Argentina on the board. Their second strike was courtesy of Agüero after that presidential penalty that he took, having seen a goal which initially looked valid be chalked off for a foul in the build-up. As for Mexico, that early strike from Obed Martinez, and since then just their presidential penalty from Montiel. Defence is on top in this fourth and final quarter-final.
Barely seen Obed Martinez in the second half. And to your point earlier on about the Argentina secret card, it depends what you get, because as time goes, well, there you go, right on cue. But because you have that 4-minute timeline on many of those Spotify secret cards, and therefore you have to use them with plenty of time as well, unless you get star player like Mexico did.
Yeah, and if this is a penalty, it might be the sort of perfect card to draw, because it's been a tight game. If you get the chance to score a penalty or even a shootout, then certainly unlikely to pass it up, especially if they can turn to Sergio Agüero again.
Double goal for Argentina.
Double goal. Well, is El Kun coming immediately back on? He's ready. He's taking his bib off.
He's just having a drink, taking his time. This is a 4-minute window they have where any goal that they could score would be worth double. And in a game which has been so tight, that could be a big momentum shifter. But it is, of course, relying on Argentina scoring in the first place.
And it's Navajas who's made his way onto the pitch. Now, the difference you might ask with the double goal and the star players, that Argentina can score as many goals as they want in the next 4 minutes. All of those goals will count double. Of course, Obed Martinez, no time limit, but as soon as he scores, then the double goal for him and him only is over.
Mexico have been really quiet in the second half. They've not looked like scoring at all. They've very rarely got even near the Argentine goal.
Cesar Bernal clips it forwards. Mantovani there. Navajas.
Well, it's becoming very direct. It's already been a bit scrappy. That was a heavy collision between both players. It's kicking off.
Don't mind a little bit of feistiness, though, do we, Patrick? This is you're playing for a place in the semi-finals after all.
Yeah, and he's a brave man. They're taking on Bernal, is Franco Romero, because Bernal is one of the biggest units we've seen this week at the Kings League Arena. I certainly wouldn't be squaring up to him, especially not in a dark alley. And there are plenty of those in the Rozzano neighbourhood of Milan.
Here's Navajas. Augusto, who's also recently come back onto the pitch as Argentina once again dropped the rhythm of the game. It's been a feature of this match. We've had moments, very short moments at high tempo, but it has been a little bit too often pedestrian in this game as the perhaps magnitude of the match has taken hold of the players.
He's back on, Agüero. They have given him 2 of those 4 minutes to try and get a goal, which would be worth double and could give them a big push towards the semi-final against Brazil. But we shouldn't forget that the final 2 minutes of play are currently only going to be worth a golden goal because the score is level, Simon. If one team are winning, goals will be worth double. The header is over the top. It looked a little bit too high for him, but if the scoreline's level, then we're going to golden goal. How good would that be if Agüero could score that?
It would be so dramatic. And he might be one of the players to take out a shootout if we reached a shootout afterwards as well. We're not there quite yet. Argentina still with 90 seconds to try and get a double goal. Mexico, one of the few times they've crossed the halfway line in this second half.
And you and I have each experienced one golden goal in this competition. You saw Jabarov of Uzbekistan finding the net. I was privy to Alejandro Ortega scoring the goal down to our right here as a free kick is given, but thankfully no further yellow cards. And the reaction, the golden goal's a throwback. You know, it was something which was brought in by IFAB for a couple of editions of international tournaments. I remember Laurent Blanc scoring against Paraguay for France. I remember David Trezeguet as well scoring one. So
Italy.
Yeah, so it is, you know, wonderful. But
it adds to the spectacle.
Yeah, it's the best way to win a game. There's nothing like scoring a goal, but if you score a goal that literally ends the game, we had that with Uzbekistan scoring with the final kick of the game against Peru, but that technically didn't end the game. It just happened to be the last kick of the game. If you score in a golden goal period, it literally ends the game.
That's a good switch of play to Cesar Bernal. Mexico finally seeing a little bit more of the ball. Obed Martinez, why not have a go?
I was thinking exactly that. You took the words out of my mouth. Instead, they nearly scored there. That was curious goalkeeping from Barovero. Took a big chance.
Massive sigh of relief, you would imagine, there from the Argentina camp. Looking over at the streamers, they couldn't believe that he didn't go at it with his hands.
Yeah, Chuy Perez, it ricocheted off him and just went wide. The double goal has passed without incident. That's frustrating for Argentina. And unless someone scores in the next 2 minutes, we're going to have a golden goal scenario. But hang on here. Ooh. Oh, he's got to hit the target, Simon.
Navajas, really good connection, but it just spinned the wrong side of the post, didn't it? And I was actually going to say, to complement what you were saying, Patrick, not only did Argentina not score in that double goal period, but I don't actually think they had a shot at goal during that double goal period. It came just afterwards. Here's Facu Romero, Kun Agüero, all glued to his feet when he has it.
Oh, good goalkeeping from Monterde, just about pushed it safe as well. I'm going out on a limb here with 70 seconds remaining until the 38-minute mark. We're going to have a golden goal. We're going to have one. Not only is it going to be a golden goal to decide it, there will be a goal in the final 2 minutes plus added time. One of these teams is going to score a goal to set up a semi-final, and that's how things stand. Kelvin Oliveira with those 6 goals earlier on, Simon, now streaking out in front.
Yeah, taking his tally to 11 in the top scorers list, followed by Nadir Lua and Obed Martinez. 11, 8, 8. Luis Morales and Aitur Geçim have the 5 and 5 to complete.
And what you were saying earlier is we've got Nadir Lua, who's the reigning Corona de Oro, Kelvin Oliveira, who's hotly tipped to become the next Corona de Oro, and a lovely little subplot there, those two players who are both still in the competition, vying for the top scorers finish.
And who could meet in the final. You need to get a shot away, otherwise the clock goes dead.
Aguero! There goes the whistle at the 38-minute mark. It is 2 each. It means we're going to have a golden goal.
Well, it's all set up, and in many ways you probably thought that this is where the game was heading. Kun Aguero trying, and at the very least doing what very few teams have done in the last seconds, heading to the 38th minute, just getting a shot away. So golden goal. It cannot get more dramatic than this for a place in the semi-final, where whoever wins this, a reminder, will play against Brazil. Let's listen into the corners.
Y después intenso y orden. Si estoy seguro de anticipar y si no, trabaje, paciencia.
Trabaja él, sí, y un por delante. Salís un poquitito, sí, y trabajamos los 3 por detrás. Importante, mano a mano, presión para el...
And a quick recap then. Yes, it is golden goal for 2 minutes plus added time. If we weren't to have a goal in that period, we would go to a shootout, which is not a traditional penalty shootout. It's ice hockey style, where the players dribble from the centre circle. They have 5 seconds to score. Lights on, Simon.
Were a fan of MLS, you'll have seen that, particularly in the 90s. That's how they took their penalties. 5 lights. No lights. It's time for a winner here in Argentina, Mexico.
And first blood to the Argentines, winning the ball and winning a free kick. Get it to Aguero.
Look at him.
If we won it with a free kick. Ay, 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 ay.
He's confidently walked over. He's got a very good calf game, hasn't he, Aguero?
This is your Aguero moment. You realise if he hits into the top corner, you can hold that O for as long as humanly possible. Let's hope your voice doesn't break. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a little bit jealous. I might have to take the streamers against Legends match on Sunday just to make sure I get my own Aguero moment. So I thought I had it earlier on when you were snoozing, but the VAR bailed you out.
It is going to be Kun Aguero who goes, takes a deflection and just over the crossbar.
Oh, I thought that was...
I teed it up.
You did, you really did. And Monterde relieved because he made a howler earlier on. He was nearly wrong-footed there. He wasn't getting there, I'm sure.
Corner Argentina. Mantovani comes, headed behind. No, it's going to be a throw-in. Argentina with Facu Romero, poked away again. Mexico just clinging on.
Surely you're looking to just toss it in towards Aguero, no?
You have to. Facu Romero toward Mantovani, punched away by Monterde.
Oh, that's a good ball. Now they've got Obed Martinez on the ball. Did he get the last touch? He did. It's an Argentina throw. And that might be a yellow card for Obed Martinez. He's got away with one there. The referee's showing a bit of clemency to keep him on the pitch.
And I think he's just told the Argentina bench where to go as well, Obed Martinez.
Well, no language barrier, is there, between the two Spanish-speaking nations?
Cisneros. Get the ball to Obed Martinez. If you're in the Mexican camp, nail-biting stuff. We're already into the 2 minutes of added time.
Someone's got to take a shot, though, Simon. This is a golden goal. We've only seen that Argentina free kick. Try your luck, son. Oh, he's giving it away.
Obed Martinez, that's why he's the captain. El Capitan with the tackle.
Ay, 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 ay. Yo non soy marinero, soy capitán.
That's from a song, isn't it?
It is. La Bamba.
Great song. Facu Romero.
Real tune.
Ooh, just clipped Facu Romero on its way out. It's a Mexico ball.
I might give us a rendition of La Bamba if we get a golden goal, but it's looking unlikely at this stage.
Still about a minute left. Arocochoa
That's a
goes
dive,
down.
surely. Was it a foul, was it? The Argentine player saying his shirt was being pulled, and I tend to think there was much ado about nothing. Augusto Fernandez has now given Obed Martinez and the Mexicans a chance to crash one towards goal from the dead ball situation. Agüero now, it means a lot to him. Look at his face. He is deadly serious, as well he might be.
I think it's often been underestimated, the passion and the seriousness of this competition. Obviously, some people will turn their noses up at Kings League football, but whoever plays, whoever's involved, takes it very, very seriously. This is no gimmick.
Now, if Obed Martinez does strike this, you need to channel Thomas Lawrence. He wants to live this potential goal out through you.
Has he messaged you?
I'm sure he's watching live.
It is Obed Martinez who thumps it. I tell you what, it was a really good hit.
Oh, he struck it pure. A bit like you on the squash court.
Well, it is going to be the most dramatic of finishes to this game. It will be a shootout, much like we saw in USA against Morocco. I guess the only question is now, Patrick, who do you see as winners in this one?
I'm going to go with Argentina. I just think we are destined to see Agüero line up against Brazil in an Argentina-Brazil semi-final. And it will be Agüero against Kelvin. A reminder that Kelvin, who was the top scorer at the Kings World Club Cup, is also currently leading the way in terms of goals here at the Kings World Cup Nations. But, Simon, this is no ordinary shootout, as you mentioned. This is a shootout
no pasa nada.
where the players driven it from the halfway line.
Muy buena para esto. Entonces, no dudemos, convencidos que lo vamos a ganar, cabrones. Pero necesito que lo hagamos con seriedad, que Toño sí o sí va a parar de perdido 2. Entonces, personalidad para tirar. ¿Estamos?
Personalidad para tirar. Get out, show personality when hitting the ball.
Sensaciones, ¿quién tiene
message.
sensaciones buenas?
You want honest here.
Venga, va.
It's all about character.
Sensaciones buenas, ¿quién tiene sensaciones buenas?
Having the
Venga, va.
gumption to
¿Cuántos
stand there from
ambos?
12 yards, or in fact to dash forward from the halfway
Venga,
line.
dale.
The Argentine head coach, on the other hand, saying who's got the right feeling for this one? Who's going to step up? He's asking for volunteers. One of the most dramatic penalty shootouts was Portugal, I think, in the 2016 Euro, when Ronaldo literally forced João Moutinho to take one, saying, João, you can hit them. Zanetti not looking very easy there.
Substirar.
Exactly. There you go. That is why Patrick Hendrick is in this chair. Has a photographic memory.
Yeah. Chutar is another option as well to shoot. Comes from the English, but
Y si no, que no va a pasar con la frente en alto. Muchachos, hoy no nos podían parar. Contra todo y contra todos.
Sí, señor, hostia.
I almost think they're a little bit under-prepared, Argentina. We heard about the Brazilians saying no one's worked hard on us, no one's prepared more than us for this. But if you're saying they're asking for volunteers, that makes me think that they haven't already foreseen this potential outcome, and they don't know the 5 names that need to step forward here. So, one to watch, maybe that gives Mexico the edge.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. A little bit surprised by that. Obed Martinez and Augusto go through the pre-match requisites here with the referee. Argentina against Mexico in the shootout.
So, yesterday we had United States against Morocco. The shootout was taken at the goal away to our right. We'll see. It looks like the shootout is going to be the same way, albeit the Argentine player hasn't necessarily realised it, because, well, in fact, he has. So it is like a traditional shootout. Best of 5, sudden death if we're level after 5, but with a twist. It's not a static shot from 12 yards. They have 5 seconds to take the ball from the centre circle, from the halfway line, to try and beat the goalkeeper. They can go round them. The most important thing is they get a shot away before the 5 seconds elapse and the buzzer goes.
And the first player up for Argentina is Pablo Gomez, number 20, up against Antonio Monterde. Monterde with a couple of good saves already in the game. Pablo Gomez, off he goes, and through the legs of Monterde, Argentina strike first.
How cool is that? It's one thing to beat the goalkeeper, it's quite another to spot the space between his legs and to slot it home. And Pablo Gomez, having scored in the 40 minutes itself, now finds the net in the shootout. Chuy Perez, Simon.
Yep. Chuy Perez to level things up here for Mexico. You can feel the tension inside the Kings League arena. Chuy Perez waits and fires home and true. Very, very good shootout.
Yeah, and this is a big departure from what we saw yesterday, actually. Morocco won 2-1 against the US in the shootout. The US missed all but one of their attempts. So far, we've had 2 from 2, flawless.
Paco Romero is up next. Argentina's speedster ready. Paco Romero up against Monterde. Beautifully done.
Well, again, you need so much poise and character there to be able to just go past the goalkeeper. Once he dropped the shoulder, the keeper knew what was coming, Monterde, but it was a desperate lunge and he couldn't get to the ball in time.
It's funny because usually in football you have one set of fans behind the goal. Now you've got both, and 8 sets of fans having a word with the goalkeepers. Time now for Mexico to respond.
Number 77.
And slotted away calmly once again. Diego Martinez, the man who puts it beyond the Argentina goalkeeper, Marcelo Barovero.
Wow, this has been an absolute clinic so far, an advertisement on how you should be taking these shootouts. 2 from Argentina from 2, and so far Mexico haven't missed a beat either.
Martin Mantovani is up next. Plenty of experience. He's defended the Argentina goal. Now he's trying to put them ahead, but he's missed it.
And he never looked comfortable, Simon. Never looked comfortable at all, Mantovani. The first few steps forward he took were laboured. Didn't move the ball with any conviction. He ran out of steam there as well. And in the end, he almost had to strike it like a free kick.
Yeah, didn't seem to really get it out of his feet when he had the shot. So now Mexico to go 2 ahead with Cisneros. Juan Cisneros, he looks confident, he looks calm, and he dispatches it brilliantly.
Mexico with 3 from 3. Cisneros gives them the lead for the first time in this shootout. They had been playing catch-up, but after the mistake from Mantovani, Cisneros, clinical.
Really, really, really good shootout there from Mexico. Sambuesa, this is huge.
You sense he needs to score, really.
Rubens Sambuesa. Oh, it's just gone in after licking the post on its way. That was a big moment for Argentina.
Sambuesa used every last inch of the goal there, just grazing the post on its way in. There was a touch from Monterde as well with his leg, and now Sambuesa has gone across to his goalkeeper and said, go on, do us a favour, Marcelo Barovero.
Barovero hasn't been close to any of the Mexican attempts. Can he get close? At least close now. Make life difficult for Mexico.
And Lobo scores off the post as well.
This is getting very, very tight. And now, if Argentina miss, it is all over. And it is not going to be El Kun Agüero, not yet, at least. It is going to be Rafael Joao, who is going to have the heavy responsibility of keeping his nation in the competition.
Yeah, we had a couple of match-winning chances yesterday. The first was spurned, the second, though, was taken. Now, can Mexico take the first of their match points by saving this?
Joao still.
He's missed it.
It's Mexico. They're the ones who are going through to the semi-finals of the Kings World Cup Nations after dominating the shootout against Argentina.
Incredible scenes here. Mexico deny us a Brazil-Argentina semi-final, but it's hard to disagree with this outcome. The tricolor were just the cooler of the two sides. Once we got to the shootout, 4 from 4, they didn't even need their 5th shootout penalty in the end. Disappointment for Agüero and the Albiceleste. Agüero is still bemoaning that decision from the officials to rule out his strike, but Rafael Joao, you have to feel for him, and you also need some sympathy for Mantovani too. They're the two villains of the piece, having missed. But Mexico were flawless. They showed the greater character. They showed their cool from the shootout, and it will be them playing Brazil tomorrow in that second semi-final.
And what an opposition of styles as well. We're going to see the flair, the technicality, the explosiveness of the Brazilians, Patrick, against what has been a very well-regimented defensive unit.
Yeah, and you have to say that all of our star players so far in this competition have now got the opportunity to grace the semi-finals, Simon. We have been amazed by the exploits of Obe Martinez. He'll be there with Mexico. We've been dazzled by Kelvin. He'll be there representing Brazil as their captain. We're going to see the likes of Alejandro Ortega for Colombia, and of course Fouad and Nadir for Morocco, the latter the reigning Corona de Oro. So we're going to have some star-studded players, each gracing tomorrow's semi-finals.
In many ways, the nations led by the best players, as you say, Patrick, have made it through to the semi-finals. We can see the end of the game statistics here very, very close. In fact, compared to the previous game, just 1.6 expected goals for Argentina, 1.13 for Mexico. This is how things are looking. Morocco, Colombia, Mexico, Brazil. One of those 4 nations will be the winner of the inaugural Kings World Cup Nations. Time now for the highlights.